Hi, I am not John Green, and I am here on Crash Course with you on Sylvia's poem, Daddy.
So Sylvia Plath suffered from a few mental illnesses, including depression, which later influenced her writing. Her father played a bit of a role in her poems, including Daddy. Daddy was referring to both the aspect of her father and Hitler, since she was born at the time. And now for the thought bubble. Morgan?
Sylvia Plath was born in 1932 in Boston, Massachusetts. Her father was a German entomologist and had written a book about bees. Sylvia's mother was the first American getting a master's degree in teaching, where she had met Plath's father. Sylvia's father had died when she was 8. In school, Sylvia Plath was a good student attending Smith College, later getting an internship at Mademoiselle magazine, giving her an inspiration to her novel, The Bell Jar, which she had looked back at the experience she had through a bell jar, giving her a disordered piece of material. In 1953, Sylvia Plath had attempted her first suicide under her house, overdosing on her mother's sleeping pills, but she had later failed. After her failed attempt, Sylvia had graduated from school and got a scholarship and went to the University of Cambridge. This is where she had met Ted Hughes, a poet. They later got married, getting interested in astrology together. Later, in 1962, Sylvia had found that Hughes was having an affair and soon separated. After Hughes' affair, she had a huge creative burst of poems, and on February 11, 1963, Sylvia had a successful attempt at suicide at the age of 30. Thanks for that thought bubble. That was a quick review of Sylvia Plath.
Daddy by Sylvia Plath. You do not do, any more black shoe, in which I have lived like a foot for 30 years, poor and white, barely daring to breathe or a chew. Daddy, I have had to kill you. You died before I had time. Marble heavy, a bag full of God, ghastly statue with one gray toe, big as a Frisco seal. And a head in the freakish Atlantic, where it pours bean green over blue, and the waters over beautiful Nauset. I used to pray to recover you, ach du. In the German tongue, in the Polish town, scrapped flat by the roller of wars, wars, wars. But the name of the town is common, my Polish friend. Says there are a dozen or two, so I could never tell where you put your foot, your root. I never could talk to you, my tongue stuck in my jaw. It stuck in a barbed wire snare. Ish, 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 I could hardly speak. I thought every German was you, and the language obscene. An engine chuffing me off like a Jew, to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen. I began to talk like a Jew. I think I may well be a Jew. In the snows of the Tyrol, the clear beer of Vienna are not very pure or true. With the gypsy and centrist and my weird luck, and my Tarek pack, I may be a bit of a Jew. I have always been scared of you, with your Luftwaffe and your gobbledygoo, and your neat mustache, and your Aryan eye, bright blue. Panzerman, oh you. Not God, but a swastika, so black no sky could squeak through. Every woman adores the fastest, the boot in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you. You stand at the blackboard, Daddy, in the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that, no not, any less the black man who bit my pretty heart in two. I was 10 when they buried you. At 20 I tried to die, and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do. But they pulled me out of the sack, and they stuck me together with glue. And then I knew what to do. I made a model of you, a man in black with a Mein Kampf look, and a love of the rack and the screw. And I said, I do. So Daddy, I'm finally through. The black telephone's off the route. The voices just can't worm through. If I've killed one man, I've killed two. The vampire who said he was you, and drank my blood for a year, 7 years if you want to know. Daddy, you can lie back now. There's a stake in your fat black heart, and the villagers never liked you. They are dancing and stamping on you. They always knew it was you. Daddy, you bastard, I'm through. The first 3 stanzas of the poem have a lot to say about her father, but everyone has a question of if it's talking about her German father or if it's talking about Hitler. She had no communication with her father, and it tells you a lot about that in the 4th through 7th stanzas, and she had to rely on her mother to tell her anything about her father. Her mom never talked about him as being a good person. In the 8th through 10th stanzas, it's basically telling you whoever daddy is, like whoever it's referring to, is not a good person at all. It's very warlike and dangerous and very negative. And in the 11th through 14th stanzas, she doesn't know if being part of her father, if she's okay with that. She doesn't know if she wants to be living a life where she might end up like her father. And her father may as well be Hitler because that's how she thought of him. And in the very end, she says, I do, which everyone assumes refers to her marriage to Ted Hughes, where she falls in love, she accepts herself, and she's through. She says, Daddy, I'm through, I don't need to deal with this anymore. And ultimately, it comes to an okay ending, where she doesn't need to feel this grudge against her father for making her part of this terrible person. She can accept that from herself, and it's okay.
Good. Hi, I am not John Green. I'm here with you on Crash Course on Sylvia's poem.
Daddy.
An engine, chuffing me off like a Jew. A Jew to Dachau, Auschwitz, Belsen, I began to talk.
I am not.
No.